Hello everybody, Ambassador Rachel here, coming to you with another video. This video is the second half of everything you will need to know for demo interview number 1. If you missed the first half of the video, you can find it right here. You'd want to watch that first. Let's dive right in. We've already covered how to prepare for your interview and an overview of Qkids platform from inside the classroom. This video will cover the questions your interviewer will ask you, my best teaching tips for demo interview number 1, how to teach using Qkids platform, and you won't want to miss what I share at the end of this video that will knock the socks off your interviewer. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to expect for demo interview number 1. Let's go! This is the actual class for your Demo 1 interview. You can enter this classroom as many times as you'd like to practice until you feel comfortable and confident that you are ready to go. When your interviewer enters a classroom, you will want to make sure to have a warm and welcoming personality. Make sure that you are smiling and smile consistently throughout your interview. You want to give your interviewer an idea of what it will be like for you as their teacher in the real classroom. Remember to speak slowly, speak clearly in your interview. You'll want to follow the tips that I gave in my previous video about camera presence, lighting, background, and how to interact with the children in a way that will easily engage them in the classroom, as well as your interviewer. Now, if you're anything like I was while I was preparing for my demo interview, you're probably feeling a little nervous. It's normal to feel nervous at this stage. Just know that Qkids has a kind and friendly staff. They want to see you succeed as much as you do. So take a deep breath. You've got this. Just relax and try to have fun. That will resonate through the camera to them. They will see that you are there, ready to go, prepared, and having fun. Your interviewer will come in one of these spots down here, probably in Colby's spot down here. I recommend you entering at least 5 minutes early so you can come in as we covered in the last video. You can check your audio, your video, you can do a network test if you need to, so you can know that you are all set and ready to go. Take some time to showcase what you do know about the platform. You can use the tools that we learned in our last video. You can use the text box, write a message. Hello. You can use the stickers. Throw a couple stickers up, make them big, make them small. This will show your interviewer that you've spent some time learning the platform before they even get into the platform. Now you can give yourself a mask, maybe a cat nose or some glasses. Just have fun with it. Let's talk about the questions your interviewer will ask you in the interview. Number 1, can you tell me more about your teaching background or what experience you have with children? This is where everything counts. You do not have to be a teacher in a classroom to work for Qkids, but you will want to have some sort of experience with children, whether you have your own children, you homeschool children, your neighbor has children, you're an auntie or an uncle. All of those things count. You might have tutored, worked for a daycare. All of that counts. Share that at this point in the interview. Your interviewer will ask you why would you like to work for Qkids and if you're able to work the minimum number of hours per week, which is 6 hours per week and 12 classes. They will most likely ask you if you are available to work on Friday and Saturday nights. Working on Friday and Saturday nights is not a requirement. Then they will want to see if you know how to use the platform. All parts of this interview are important, but this is the main point of this interview, to make sure you know how to use the platform. So it's time for your interview. Your interviewer will enter in one of these student boxes. They will ask you the interview questions, which we just covered, and then they will ask you to demonstrate how to use this screen in the platform. This is the welcome screen. The point of this screen is to welcome the children, to start an introduction with them, help them feel comfortable. This is a great screen to have fun with the kids. Your interviewer will ask you to bring them up right here like this. You can make them bigger or smaller. They will ask you to give them a mask. They might know what they want, or they might want you to help guide them. You can give them Pikachu, you can give yourself a mask. When your interviewer enters the classroom, make sure to have a nice, warm, welcoming smile. Greet them kindly, hello, and smile consistently. They will ask you to mute the students individually. They will ask you to unmute them. They will ask you to send a message, maybe that you cannot see them. It'll send this little robot right there. You will know that it's working when you see that. They will ask you to award them individually and award the class as a whole, diamonds to all. They will ask you to use the text box, which you already have. So if they see that there, they might not ask you to demonstrate that. They will ask you to use the stickers. Have fun with it. What would you like? Give them a number 1, 100%, you're doing great. They will ask you any number of things up here and any number of things in the box, and then they will ask you about the stickers and how to manage them up here by bringing them up onto the stage and then taking the mask off and bringing them down off the stage. They want to make sure you know how to use the features in the classroom. So after you've gone through this beginning introductory, show me how to use this, show me how to use that, they will ask you to teach a few slides. Your interviewer might ask you to treat them like a child. They may give you an age of a child they'd like you to treat them like. It varies slightly from interviewer to interviewer. Now, I know I felt silly teaching an adult as if they were a child, but your interviewer does this all day long. They want to see that you will be able to teach children in the classroom. So bring your A game. You can do this. Pretend that you are teaching an actual child while you're teaching your interviewer, and they will be so impressed. So let me show you what this might look like when teaching in an actual class with your interviewer. So they will enter into the class. You will have a few stickers up here. You might have some sort of a mask on, Pikachu, right? Anything that feels comfortable for you, anything that you enjoy. But it's nice to have a few things up here because you're already demonstrating to them what it would look like for you teaching a class with them. All right, they come into the classroom and you say, hello. Warm and welcoming smile. Use your hands. Be interactive with them. They want to see that you can engage with the children. They will ask you their interview questions. They will ask you to demonstrate to them, bring them up on the stage, do a few masks, make them big, make them small, do a few stickers, same thing, make them big, make them small. What I like to do in the introductory slide, when I bring the children up, I like to ask them what their name is. How this looks for me is I would say, hello, and I wait for them to say hello. You put your hand up behind your ear, hello. They will say hello back to you. My name is Teacher Rachel. Teacher Rachel, what's your name? And you wait and listen. Often their parents are there. They will help guide them along the way in this introductory part of the lesson. Your interviewer might pause and pretend like they're a child who can't say their name. It's okay to help guide them along the way. You can say, my name is Colby. Colby. And if all they say is Colby, or if they try and they might giggle a little, that's okay. After you've made your introductions, you have given them some stickers, maybe some masks, you can move on. The introduction slide is used as another warm-up slide. It's a great way to assess the children's vocabulary before you start the lesson. So you will ask for some things that are probably right on point that they probably know, and then you might ask a few challenging questions that they might not know. You can use the spotlight and ask, who's this? Colby. Good. Colby Koala. You can teach big, big, oh, small, small, big, small. Just have fun with it. Make sure to smile. I always laugh because I'm having fun. And don't forget to award diamonds because they're doing a great job. Okay, number 2 is where the students will learn their new words for the lesson. Some of the kids may know these words already, but it's not uncommon for these to be new words for them. So don't expect that they will know the word. You will want to prompt them, teach them, help them along the way. So we click left to right, left to right. You can see in the first section we're learning run and then running. Click on the run box and it will magnify so the students know what you're teaching. For these slides, I don't like to teach actions with the first word, run, or jump, or fly. I like to teach the actions with running, jumping, flying. So it would look something like this. Run, run. I can run. I can run. Good job. Running, running. You run. Running, running. If a child says the wrong word here, you will want to correct them. Or if your interviewer says jump, here you will want to correct them. Jumping. You can use the spotlight to show ing, a specific part of the word that they're missing, or this is an incident that I might use the marker. If they're missing ing, jump-ing, jump-ing, you can use the marker to also highlight the piece that they are missing, but they will probably pretend that they've missed something and you will want to correct them because they're looking to make sure that you will correct them. Next slide. This slide is an opportunity for them to practice what they have just learned. Click on the card and it will appear slightly larger than the other ones, but I usually like to use the spotlight in this slide because I feel like it gives more of a focus, really draws them into what you're teaching them. All you need to do is get them to repeat running. Let's see what this would look like. Look, look, running. Good. Running, running. Yes, good job. Flying, flying. Very good, flying. You fly. Good, good, flying. I do this often where I see if I can prompt them to say the word, because often if you have a class of 4 students, one of them will say jumping, and then the other students hear and they participate along, so you're not always giving the answer back to them. You want to engage them to give them the opportunity to answer and figure it out on their own. I do a very quick overview. I usually like to grab my microphone, but you don't need it. I enjoy it because it coaches the kids and lets them know what to do, and I think it's fun. Running. Good. Flying. Good. Jumping. Good job. And I don't even give diamonds during that point because you want it to be a quick overview. Then you select one of the cards and click hide. It'll mix the cards. I usually go mix, 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 mix. Look. And someone in the class will usually yell out what the card is, but if they don't, you can use a spotlight again and say running, jumping, to help probe them to say the card. Your interviewer will say the card. They'll say flying. And even if they miss the card and they're not sure what it is, you can tell the students. Maybe show them an action if they're not saying it. Flying. And then one of them will say it, flying. They'll all say it. It's fun. Qkids platform is very intuitive and user-friendly. It's just like when you read left to right, left to right. It's very systematic in this way, which makes it so nice when you're learning the platform for the first time. So you can see I clicked on number 1, and you will see prompts down here at the bottom. I click on I'm running. You can do this as many times as it takes. Use the spotlight, use your other tools. I'm. If they're not catching on right away, you can break it down, slow it down. I'm running, running, running. You can even click on it another time to repeat and give them an opportunity to hear the recording say it again.
I'm running.
I'm running. Good, students.
I'm running.
I'm running. Excellent. Ready? I'm running. Oh, Kobe. Diamonds, of course. Number 2, same type of thing, but
I'm jumping.
I'm jumping. And then you continue along the way. They get to see the animation and they love it. You want to prompt them to say, I'm jumping. This is a fun game for them. You can see there's different things here that are laid out for them. They will make a sentence, or in this case, it says act it out. You will want to engage them and show them so they know what to do and understand that they need to act it out. So you're going to show them and then ask them to do it. It would look like this. Jumping, 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 jumping. Because this is an individual activity, you'll pull them up one at a time. After the first person has gone through this slide and learned that they're acting it out, the kids will follow suit. I usually like to pull up my strongest student on screen first because they will catch on quicker and then the others will learn from the other students. The next slide is a scramble sentence is what it's called. You click on new round. Again, we're going left to right and you will see the sentence here, I am running. This is a sentence you want them to click and make. They will not see the complete sentence here on their side, I am running. Only you will see it on your side. So you are guiding them along the way to make the sentence, I am running. How I like to do this is I tell them, listen to teacher, click, click, click. Ready? I am running. Running. Good. Now you will see as students get this sentence, it will appear above their screen. Because this has 3 sections, it will show in 3 sections which one, a green for go and a red for no, for not good if they answered it incorrectly. It will show which one of these they got correctly, or usually it's all 3. They're pretty good at following this game. Now you will go again to next. You can see this is one of 3. There's another sentence they need to make. When you've completed all 3 sentences, you go to the review slide. This is where they will practice their reading. You can click on each one of the sentences. It does highlight them, but my preference again is to use this highlight to guide them along the way. Ready? Let's read. I am running. And have them read it too. I am running. Good. Good job. He is jumping. He is jumping. Excellent. And as they catch on, I get quieter and quieter as they catch on what they need to do. You want as much interaction from them as possible and the least amount from you as possible because you want them to have that chance to practice their speaking with guidance, of course, from you. Good walking. She is walking. Excellent job, students. If you want, you can give a sticker right here. You can use the stickers throughout the lesson for fun to engage the students. Another way to give rewards as long as it's not distracting to the lesson or taking a long time. And this is not a case where you will ask the students, what sticker would you like? You're just throwing something up there for fun. Great job. Big diamonds. They will love it. The next slide looks like this. Now, Colby is going to be demonstrating what he's doing. Again, I really like to use a spotlight. What's Colby doing? What's Colby doing? Now, notice I'm repeating myself using the target language in the lesson, but I'm not saying, oh, what is Colby doing? What do you see? Just keep it as simple as possible, especially in classes where you have very young learners. In the older classes, you can have full discussions with the students. It's pretty fun. But in this case, you would just keep it simple. What's Colby doing? And then, if you're thinking about it, you're helping them think about it. You're using your body language to help cue them to know what to do. We're thinking, what's Colby doing? Oh, look, running. Running, good job. He is running. He is running. Now you'll notice over here in the reference tab, it asks to try to get the students to speak in full sentences. Now, this is a class environment. You do not need to bring up every single child and see if they can say the sentence, But if you do have time in your lesson, depending on your pacing, that's something you can do. I would usually bring them up in pairs. You can see the box right here on the screen. This is not on every slide, but it's on many of the slides. If you want to bring them up, if you have extra time in class or maybe a more advanced class, you can bring two kids up together. He is running, and then have them say it. He is running. You can count it out. He is running. Have them say it. Bring up the next two ones. Make sure to award individually if you bring up individual students. Really, all you're teaching here is you want to say as a class, he is running, and get that point across. And then jumping, jumping, what's Colby doing? Jumping, jumping. Good, jumping, good job. He is jumping. He is jumping. Good. And I say jumping. I want them to understand this is not jump, this is jumping. But I still like to count it out, showing them there are 3 words in what I'm saying. He is jumping. This is a quiz section for them. Not every class has a quiz section, but when they do, it looks like this. Again, you click left to right, go one at a time. Running. Try not to do the actions. It will become second nature to want to act things out and engage the class and just have fun with them. Try not to do that. You want to give them a chance to see where they are in their class. And a little bubble will come up above each one of their heads, so you will see they've clicked on it. Then you click on this next button. It will bring each student up one at a time. They'll have an opportunity to answer a question. What are they doing? In this lesson, often they can't read this sentence on their own unless their parents are helping them, so it's okay to help them. What are they doing? If you need to, you can write in here, they are, if the student is struggling, or really you can just use your words, especially if they're in this level, they probably don't know how to read that, so it's not exactly helpful, but just so you know, in this slide you can type. But you want them to answer in a full sentence here, they are jumping. You want the student to be able to answer that. You'll go through all of the students, and then you go to student check. You will see a check mark next to the ones that the students got correctly, and they will see their sentence up here. I like to have a little minute, not long, to celebrate with them and put up 100% and say, great job, you did it! Maybe a diamond. The second to last slide in every class is the summary slide. You can see that the summary slide is the exact same as the number 1 slide in every class. The first slide in every class is an opportunity to warm up the class, do some warm-up exercises, but also test their knowledge. Give yourself a little bit of an understanding as where this class is. If they're a little more advanced, you'll know that you can ask them more questions throughout the class. If they're not as advanced, you'll know you'll really need to slow it down. The second to last slide in every lesson is the summary slide. You can see right here. It's the exact same thing, but it's a chance for you to show them, look at how much you have learned. Usually by here, they can say, Kobe Koala, jump, he is jumping. The last slide in every class is the reward slide. The students love this. Qkids has a built-in reward system with their diamonds and with their stickers. The kids go crazy for this stuff. It's so fun for them, and it makes it so easy for you because it's systematic. On this slide, you will bring up each student. I like to bring up 2 at a time. As a new teacher, you don't need to ask them what they want. I have a system that I will show you in a later video about how I like to do the reward page, but at this point in the interview or in the beginning as a new teacher, you don't need to ask them what they want. If they know what they want, don't worry. They will tell you. If you put Momo up, you can see Momo's name. If you put Momo up on screen and you give Momo Momo Monkey and they don't want Momo Monkey, they will say, no, teacher, no, crown or Elsa. And you will know to give them the crown. You can make them big, you can make them small. So just throw up a few masks for them. Yay, good job! You did so good today. High five! You can throw up a big trophy for everyone or some individually, maybe some fireworks, whatever it is that is fun for you. Something to note, if you have too many stickers up and you're having a hard time clicking on different things in the classroom because maybe a sticker's covering what you need to click on, you can come to this trash can here and click clear all the stickers are gone. It's a quick way to clear everything off the screen. Then you will take turns, you will take their mask off and bring up the next student. Great job, students. Now let's see Girl and Bill. I like to mute the other students so I can hear these students because it gets loud. They will bring their parents into the classroom. They will bring their siblings into the classroom. They will say, look at my mask. They get so excited and interactive. It's really fun. So I like to mute the other students that are not getting the masks first. Then I bring them up, what would you like? And we go through this whole process again. Your interviewer will tell you that you've done a great job because you have. Depending on how busy they are in the next interview, demo interview 2, they might schedule your next interview with you right there in class. Or they might tell you that they'll get back to you. If they're saying they'll get back to you, that doesn't mean that they don't want to move on with you to the next interview. That just means they don't have the schedule ready to share with you, and they will get back to you. Typically, this interview lasts from 15 to 20 minutes, and how long the process is from beginning of demo interview number 1 to when you're on the actual schedule with Qkids is largely up to you. If Qkids asks to schedule demo interview number 2 in 1 day and you would like 5 days, the process will take a little bit longer, and that's okay, whatever works best for you. But I've coached people through the hiring process who have been hired in 1 week up to a few weeks. It really depends on you and your availability. Something to know is that China is 12 hours ahead of us depending on where you live in the country. That means that our morning is their night and vice versa. So if you had your first interview on Friday night your time, that's Saturday morning their time. And they probably won't get back to you until after the weekend. Qkids is very good at getting back to you. Don't panic, they will get back to you. Now, if you have not applied yet, feel free to use my referral link right here. Applicants that apply with a referral link are put at the top of the list of applicants. And make sure to watch my video right here that teaches you everything you'll want to know to have a successful application. So, as promised, I want to show you something that I do in my classes that always wows the parents, and it will knock the socks off your interviewer. If you've ever taught an ESL class before, you know one of the most difficult questions for these students to understand as young learners is, how old are you? They either think that you're saying, how are you? And they will answer, I'm good, I'm fine, or they will give you a blank stare. So this is how I solve that problem. Voila, the birthday sign. So I use this in the beginning screen. Not all teachers ask how old you are. They avoid the question because it's difficult to answer. So I had the problem as well when I first became an ESL teacher, and I did some research and I put on my creative thinking and I came up with this sign. So let me show you how this would look. I have Colby on stage. I've already asked, what's your name? They only say Colby, or they say Ka. They can't even say their whole name. You say, good job, Colby. Colby, my name is Colby. Very good. I usually like to give a trophy for them too. And I like to go through all the students in this way. I take Momo down and I switch. Girl, what's your name? So they're all hearing the same question. And after everyone has heard this same question, I then bring up my birthday sign. And I might sing to them depending on how much time we have in the introductory slide or how advanced they are. If they might already have a good idea as to what this question is, I might not sing to them, but often I will say, look students, happy birthday to you. And then I ask the question and I point along with it. I say, how old are you? How old are you? And I tell them how old I am. It's actually not how old I am. Most of your students you will find are 6 years old, and this is how they say 6. In China, they count and do all their numbers on one hand. So this is the number 6. I tell them I am 36 years old. Most of the students that you need to use this sign with and that are in the lower levels that you will start teaching when you first start with Qkids will recognize the number 6. I tell them, how old are you? And I wait for a minute. Teacher is 36 years old. 36 years old. How old are you? And then I bring up Colby. Colby, how old are you? When they're younger, in the beginning of class, their parents are always with them. So they will help them along the way and they will be so impressed. When I first started teaching with Qkids and I stumbled along this question because the kids would get confused, they were feeling frustrated. It's a time where you want them to feel welcome and ready and like, yes, I've got this. If you're throwing out a question for them that their parents genuinely want them to know, but they're tripping over that question, it doesn't help them feel comfortable, so they're engaging and participating in the class. So this just simplifies the process. They might just say 6, or they might say, their parents might tell them 6, or often their parents will guide them along the way. They do not have to say the full sentence, I'm 6 years old, but they might. And I always repeat it back to them. 6, good job, 6. I'm 6 years old. So they can hear what that sounds like in a correct way. And then I might give them a diamond, good job, 6 years old. And then I call the next student up. I've already asked them, what's your name? And now I'm going to repeat the same question they just heard their previous student answer. This helps them learn along the way. It's that simple. Now, I have said many things on this video, and I want you to know I've got you. I put the links below underneath the video. You will see links on all the things I've talked about here to help guide you along the process. And if you have any burning questions that you've always wanted to ask Qkids, make sure to put them in the comment section below or send me an email. As an ambassador, I'd love to answer those questions for you. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe so you never miss a beat. It was my pleasure and privilege to help walk you along the process of Demo Interview 1. You've got this. I know you're going to do great. We'll see you in the next video.